There's a light in the center, but the shell is opaque. There's a smile upon your face, but I know that it's fake. You can run all you like, there is nowhere to hide, and the road keeps going.
Hello. Hopefully that fixes it. What a strange problem I seem to be having. Ah, there it is. Da-da-da! There's the game. So anyway, we're going to be doing some Malys this evening. I'm rather looking forward to this. No, it does not. It very much does not. It's a little annoying, but totally manageable, all things considered. So last time we left off, there's the game. Last time we left off, we had just beaten Act 1 on a run. I think we had a really solid deck going that had some scaling in both slots, in both offense and defense. And I think, if I remember correctly, this is also the deck that was starting to just get to a point where it was looping cards, which is always a good place to be. If you can be looping the majority of your deck in a single turn, then that means you're going to see most of the pieces you need to do any particular thing you want. So, I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna go ahead and hop into the game now. Act 2. Okay. Let's take a moment to remind ourselves what we actually have here. Okay. Right, Divine Spark. That's a card I've not used. Relic I'm not really taking advantage of. Yeah, exactly. This deck is built around the Adamantine Resolve. And the Recite the Passages has been a recent addition that's been very helpful. But the Adamantine Resolve and the 3 copies of Hold Your Ground, as well as the copy of Collect Yourself, those have been what we've built our deck around. We've been super pleased with that. And we're in a very strong position where we are at full health going into Act 2. So we can actually afford to play a little aggressively here. I'm going to look to snowball what we have. In other words, I would like to fight as many greater demons as the track will allow me. Which in this case, I think means taking this right side path. We're gonna... It does hard lock us in to fighting 4 greater demons. We could take this path over here for a bit more safety, but it's either lock us in for 4 or lock us in for 2 with up to 3. And having these guys along the way means that we can cut out some of the cards that we don't need in our deck, so we can actually improve our deck in that way as well. Which I'm looking forward to. The only thing we really lose out on that I'm a little sad to miss is we miss out on Seeing Angel. Because Seeing Angel would give us the opportunity to upgrade some stuff. Which, now I think about it, if I go this middle way, I only miss out on 1 greater demon. So I still get to fight 4, and I also get to visit Angel. I think that's a good bet. I think that's probably a better play, because having the opportunity to upgrade, say the big one is the Collect Yourself. I think whatever Collect Yourself upgrades as is going to be incredible. Recite the Passages has the potential to be a very good upgrade as well. But I think whatever we can upgrade will be very good for us here. So I think let's take the opportunity to visit Angel and get some upgrades that way as well. I felt the presence of the Infernal below, but even so I paused at the entrance to the underground parking lot. There weren't enough cars in this city. Few on the road, even fewer parked anywhere, which meant a parking lot like this was little more than a twisting tomb of concrete and broken down wrecks. It left me cold. No one entered such a place unless they had to. But the Infernal was below. This was my calling. It didn't take long to locate the source. The man was curled up on the ground next to one of the large supporting pillars. He groaned and twisted in his agony, limbs spread at odd angles to the rest of his body. He'd likely crawled down here, like an animal going into seclusion for its last moments, a primal instinct to seek solitude at the end. But this was a weak demon. Too strong for the young man, perhaps, but not too strong for me. I could save him. I wouldn't need to stay in this dark hole for long. This demon was about to learn the meaning of pain. Interesting. I think this is the first time we're fighting a demon that we have encountered on a previous run before and are not acknowledging it. Aren't acknowledging that fact that we have already met this demon. So that of itself is kind of interesting and unusual. Oh, it has silver. Okay. That's something to be aware of. Unfortunately, I don't have silvered, which is a little annoying. Alright. That's plenty. You think I did what? kind of tempted to burn one of these hold your ground to pay for the other two, because then I can potentially miracle it. I think that's actually the play here.
I've always fought against the most ancient
Really?
evils.
Okay.
Lend me your arcane might. Aid me in the battle against the shadows.
I believe that. This is also the kind of guy to just be comfortable just up and saying, yeah, I'm better than these guys, though. Is part of my hesitancy. It's fine. I can take a bit of damage here because my glow, because my draw cards also let me gain a bunch of life if I need. Like this. Oven. Preferably cold. Come on now. Don't get absurd here. I think we're comfortable taking a lot more damage than we maybe should. Like, I have no problem with cold, but I'm never gonna say preferably cold. That's just absurd. Look at that, we took all that damage last turn and it cost us nothing. Oh, I believe you. That you would stand by such an absurd statement was never in question. I'm just pointing out that it's an absurd statement. I could have gotten some more block, but it's not an amount that extra block that actually would actually matter. Right now, we're just building up our defenses in anticipation of this guy trying to cause issues. And if the game ends up being just cycle our deck this way, we're kind of fine with that. Okay. Sure. I see I'm being outvoted and will continue to disagree with you anyway. I should shield before. And then recite that. I don't think I would ever take cold pizza over like I would take. See, now I'm being presented with a conundrum on how to talk about this. I don't think I would ever take cold pizza if fresh hot pizza were available. If fresh hot pizza is available, I find it absurd to go for cold pizza.
That's just not wrong.
If you're looking at, like, pizza that is already cold, then yeah, sure, I'll have it cold. I'm not concerned with, the like, I don't need it reheated, that's fine. Speak Thy Name could be good. I think Saint Benedict's Protection could be really strong in this deck. It's a 3 cost that it's technically a 3 cost, but it can be a 0 cost so often. And also it gives us extra energy and all these other benefits as we go. Yeah, I think I'd take this Saint Benedict's Protection. That's a good card. And we're already on the light shenanigans. In a city like this, there was always an underground market for the occult. Books that certain dealers looked for and knew to treat with special care, artifacts that made their way into the right hands, legitimate relics available at the right price. One only needed to ask around in the right places, and I knew where to find such places. So it didn't take me long to get a line on an informant willing to sell an occult item of interest. It was a bit more surprising to find the address of such an informant at a rather well-to-do apartment building. Still, stranger things had happened. I rang up, wondering if this was going to be a dead lead after all. The voice of a nervous young man buzzed me in, and when I walked up the stairs, the apartment door was open. The young man who stood inside looked out of place next to the swank interior. Looked out of place next to the swank interiors. He carried a worn duffel bag and paced around the living room as if too worried to sit down on the plush sofa in his trackpants. "You the, buyer?" he said immediately as I entered the room. His manner told me this wasn't something he did often. "I might be," I said, "depending on what you have and whether it's real." "Oh, it's real, all right," he muttered. The young man wiped the sweat off his forehead, and I decided I'd misjudged him. What I'd taken as nervousness or jitters was actually fear. I reached for the duffel bag, but he pulled it away instinctively. "You know how to handle stuff like this? It's dangerous." I showed him my own pack, opening enough so that he could see the assortment of artifacts inside. "I do," I said. He seemed relieved. "Then take it. Take it. You don't want to discuss price?" Or he pushed the duffel bag into my hands. "Take it. Take it and go. I don't want it anymore." "Are you sure?" This felt odd, and I began to wonder if I did need to inspect this artifact first. "It's giving me nightmares. It talks to me, I think. Or maybe I'm going crazy. I don't know. Either way, it's your problem now, right?" With that, the nervous young man all but pushed me out of the apartment door, duffel bag in hand, and closed it behind me. I wasn't about to question it, but I thought it might not be a bad idea to take a look at just what I'd been given. What did I get? Hagstone! Yo! Yo! Ideal draw! Ideal relics! Yo! Start with 3 silver. I found Angel deep in the alley this time, doing the oddest thing. They were kneeling down next to a scruffy little dog, so filthy it may as well have been more dirt than animal. Yet the dog was grinning and yipping happily as Angel petted, even if they did so with the air of one who'd never actually encountered an animal before. "It is a dog," Angel announced as I got close. Their smile was rather ridiculous. "I'm aware," I said, eager to get back underway, assuming Angel could even tear themselves away from their newfound best friend. No, apparently he could not. Okay. Okay, what do we want to do here? What upgrades do we want to look at? Let's look at what Recite the Pages upgrades into. 2 Wrath and 2 damage. That's a sizable upgrade. 7 Light, 4 Spark. Okay, 4 Spark is a lot. And collect yourself down to only 1 cost. Upgrading any of these is 70, so I can afford to upgrade 2. And I think it's probably Recite the Pages and Collect Yourself. We talked about it before, but what I really need is the ability to, like, the two things that I really need are the ability to keep going and the ability to scale. This accomplishes both those tasks. One cost, draw 3 cards. What an absurd card. Alright, Greater Demon time. I eat 6 slices of cheese and crushed tomato. It's like, okay. Sure. Sticking out like a burnt and broken thumb amid the empty lots, the brownstone was immediately familiar. Its broken, boarded windows, the flickering light of the basement unit door already open as if the woman within expected me. Before my first visit, she clearly hadn't eaten anything you could reasonably call food in weeks. The demon inside forced her to eat other things. I was busy reading, come on now. Objects with sharp edges that tore her up. I'd been away too long. I wondered how she had fared with the demon undoubtedly restored. I walked inside and was surprised to find the woman simply sitting there watching television back to the open door. Over the applause of a noisy game show, I said hello. The live studio audience instantly stopped clapping as if in response. The woman didn't react at all, however. She stared past the television with unblinking eyes. I noticed a spool of copper wire on her lap, one end worming down her throat as she chewed and swallowed. Since I was last here, it was clear the demon had taken full control. The woman's nails dug into the arms of her chair, and the way her mouth moved as she chewed made the woman look more like a puppet than a person, her head tottering unnaturally with each exaggerated bite. Christ, what horrors had she eaten? Alright, fight time. We don't know what it's doing, so we're gonna assume it's not doing anything that's gonna hurt me too bad. Which, saying it out loud, you realize, oh, that's only so good. No. I would... well, that's because we forcibly forget I'm supposed to play that on myself to get in the spark. Oops. Oh well. We forcibly forget everything we've done the prior days all our efforts are forcibly undone every day. I can't exactly blame that on our guy here. Noah. It ain't Noah's fault that our demon hunting has led us down odd paths. Let's set that on ourselves, so we have that spark. One, two. We're gonna do this same play again here. We're gonna fortify, then we're gonna recite. I mean, how would he keep the notebook? Everything resets every night. How would he keep that? Okay, now we are firmly in setup because we've gotten as far as we can with the demon. And that can include setting up some shields, so it does sort of seem like a Groundhog Day. I'm not totally sure what to make of it. No, Gluttony's a different demon, I think. Let's...
Reveal your true name.
Iazon the Devourer. Well. Okay, one thing we can afford to do because St. Benedict's protection has lit so many candles for us, we can afford to recite the pages first. This will allow all of the hold your grounds that we play to deal even more damage to our enemies. Yeah. No, I think we've seen Gluttony before. And I think it was something particular. Yeah. $31 damage? You're gonna try and deal me only 31 damage? Okay. We are once again in a position we can open with Recite. St. Benedict's protection is absurd. And we have none of our draw spells somehow? So we're just gonna Arcane Shield, Compel, Compel. Yeah. We have a combination of, like, these Goetic demons, and also, like, we've fought Dysmorphia, and Jackal Demon, and some of these other things. I don't know what the hierarchy on it is. It seems like there's it's semi-intentional how it's set up, but I don't know what that intention is necessarily. Oh, there's the St. Benedict. And once again, we have successfully beat this phase. So now we are firmly in the position of setting up for next turn. Let's fortify. Let's collect ourselves. We can go ahead and holy water, because that will last over the turn. And we can go ahead and yeah, exactly. Okay. Once again. Oh, this guy's not gonna last very long, is he? The loop we've entered into is just so powerful.
I command you.
We've just hit such a powerful, like, stage of the game. Yeah. I mean, I absolutely could do the center must hold. I just don't need either of these. Like, I can just pass these up without any concern. Start each exorcism with 3 wrath. Yo! This is why I said I wanted to fight as many greater demons as possible. We really should have taken that. Well, no, I'm happy we took the angel. After being ushered in by Gideon's silent servant, I found the man sitting at his dining room table. The remains of a feast lay before him, scattered plates filled with more bits of sauces and debris than one man alone could surely be responsible for. Gideon himself leaned back in his oversized chair, yawned, stretched, and looked over at me with a rather contented expression. "Ah," he said, "I'm afraid you missed the feast." "A feast for one? You ate all this?" "Demons are nothing if not insatiable, my good man. Surely you've noticed." I wanted to ask more, I really did, but I was here with a purpose in mind. "Never mind that," I said. "I need you to tell me everything you know about Malys." This perked up his interest. "Oh? Rather sudden, this demand." "Maybe, but our dealings won't go any further until you tell me everything you know. And I mean everything." "Oh, such fire!" Gideon clapped his hands together with excitement. He picked at the meaty bits left over on a plate. I didn't want to speculate as to their origin. "Have you heard the title Devil of Babylon?" "No, but I know of the ancient city." It's said that Malys was there to take part in a great battle invoked by mortals who really should have known better." He chuckled at the thought, or was it the memory? "It said there was so much blood, the streets of Babylon ran with it, like a river. Malys was utterly coated with it. He stood atop one of their highest rooftops, listing their many sins and how they would suffer for each one. The mortals fled or hid or died in great, great numbers. But they whispered that name, and it's one of Malys's proudest." I scratched my chin, a little confused. Why would a demon punish mortals for their sins? Gideon shrugged. "At the Morning Lord's behest, I imagine. All of hell exists to torment mortals for their sins, real or imagined. It's a task the darkest one takes seriously." I shuddered at the casual reference, but tried not to get sidetracked. "Why tell me this story?" "So you understand. Few of my kind know much about Malys, so he must be powerful indeed, and no doubt nestled well into the Morning Lord's inner circle to earn such mystique. Your hunt is a fool's errand." "Maybe, but I won't stop." Gideon chuckled, again picking at the plates and licking his fingers with loud, wet smacks. "Don't say I didn't warn you." I did wonder if Gideon knew more than he was saying, but I'd leave it at that for now. Oof, my voice is cracking tonight. The answer is painfully obvious to which. That's not worth. That's also not worth. I don't have the money to remove a card, alas. I can give a bit of faith in order to make things cheaper next time. Oh, well, yeah. That's fair. The muggy alley I'd walked down before. This time I was ready for the woman, possessed, huddling for warmth in the alley, freezing when it was warm, vomiting snow. "Please help me," she said, choking out the words as the snow and ice pushed its way up and out her mouth. "I'm so cold." The demon within was turning her insides to ice. Her teeth chattered like castanets, her eyes were wide with panic, her skin grayish yellow and waxy. There was nothing she could do to stop this, but I could stop it. "Come now, demon," I bellowed, instruments at the ready. The woman's head craned up like a bird, nearly breaking her neck to meet my gaze. She was done pleading. The demon was in control. It forced her lip to curl up in a deathly snarl, baring frost-covered teeth. I felt a bitter wind on my face as her lower jaw cracked and unhooked itself. The woman, somewhere still in there, cried out in pain, a response the demon struggled to suppress. "Show yourself," I commanded again. Yeah, I definitely do agree. It is kinda obvious. You would think he would understand, but I don't know. People are weird. What they know is frequently does not match our expectations. Let me put it that way.
Cast out this infernal infestation.
Okay. We're definitely casting Adamantium Resolve. And then I think we'll play it safe. Let's do one Compel and one Shield. Okay, he's just doing vulnerable to us. A lot of vulnerable, but just vulnerable nonetheless. As before. Yes, I could kill this demon faster and remove my vulnerable faster and like take less vulnerable, but I'm not super worried about that. I have enough ability to kill this demon that I'm effectively going to accomplish it as I just go about my regular business. And so there's not a whole lot of need. Yeah, see, there we go. There's not a whole lot of need to specifically aim to... Oh, I can burn. Ooh, that's a good question. 5 minutes to answer.
Your true name.
That's a strong question, and it really comes down to how powerful these greater demons get, because we're going to be fighting a bunch of them. Zal Chort. We fought this one before. Alright. We start with the obvious.
Deny it. Refuse it. Reject it. Hear my voice and return to the light.
We're gonna burn that with no sight.
On the watchers, those who stand in the shadows.
They're summoning, so we can afford to focus on damage a bit here. Let's resolve, reward and shield in, compel for 15. Right, these ones. When it attacks, it does additional attacks for the puppets to let it deal additional attacks. Right. That is easy enough to manage. We can just redirect a single one of our holder grounds to murdering it. Oh, wow, I was not expecting it to quite entirely go away like that. I was kind of expecting it to put a bit more fight. Gonna collect ourselves. Benedict's protection again. We can Adamantine Resolve just to keep that clock ticking upward. What is... I assume it's going to spend all that Puppet Fury at some point in order to deal me a bunch of damage.
Stand in the morning light.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna keep upping our defense. Yeah, what is... Anybody want to look up what Zal Chort might be? Literally. Really? That's interesting in context. Chort is a Slavic demon. Oops. Right, this puppet is based on how much damage I dealt to it. That's not surprising. It does make killing it harder, though. Fortunately, I may not need to kill it. And also, like, I have it totally blocked right now. Let's go ahead and drop those. Pop a collect yourself. Pop an adamantine resolve. Hold your ground. Holy water. We're gonna keep going. We have the ability to keep going, so we're gonna. Because it lets us do things like really put some hurting on this puppet, which I am a little concerned about this puppet sticking around. So we're gonna do what we can to bring it down to our level. Folk Christian demon, but not technically in its home faith. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, this is one of the few hands this deck can produce without any draw spells. That's fine. Is that a summon? No, it's a buff. Okay. I don't really need lunch here. I'm probably just gonna do that because I'm getting ready to gain 3. What's that? Oh, damage is split evenly across units. Well, good for you, buddy.
Cast out this infernal infestation.
We love to see an enemy's spells used to work against them. That is a perfect exorcism right there. Discard all cards in your hand, draw a new hand. I think this could be good, because it's another draw spell. And by draw a new hand, I assume it means, like, the starting hand size. It's good enough that I'm willing to take it, because at minimum it can continue our looping. And that's something we get a lot out of, is continuing our looping. I entered what had perhaps once been a police station. Now it was dark and deserted, the smell of death thick in the air. Whatever had happened here happened long ago. Oh? Old terror and despair mingled together, tickling my senses as I stepped onto the dusty floor. The infernal was near. I steeled myself and sought it out. Though the place was otherwise deserted, there were old bloodstains everywhere. Black pools on the floors, splatters on the walls. Then, in the back office, a man sat in the chair. He was older, his body rigid and gray, but there was life still in his eyes, barely. He tried to open his mouth, but instead his teeth ground together. He shivered. The demon within him was small, weak, but its hold over him was complete. "You can't hide your name from me, demon," I said. Headless? Well, there's the head. Applies 1 wrath to the demon. Each time you deal unblocked damage to it. Okay, sure, buddy. We have once again drawn a hand that doesn't actually do the thing. I don't like that we're seeing these. Because I have concerns. It increases concerns about how common they are in the deck. Interesting. Okay. So this is once again a hand where... Ugh. I don't want to get rid of these two, but I think I need to. Draw a new hand doesn't count for miracle. That's interesting. Draw a new hand doesn't do anything for miracle.
Our voices rise as one and cast into the wind.
No, we can't do that. That would be absurd.
Hear our call. Come to our aid and drive out the evil before us.
I think I do want to kill this head. I could just go for the kill on the demon, but this fight is progressing slowly enough. I don't like using Enkidu's shield over another option, but it's what we have. Oh, is this taking the damage for it? No. Interesting. Oh, no, that's my glow. I did that to it.
I speak now to the host, so lost in shame and despair. Hear my voice.
We're gonna recite the passages first.
Though you are loved, listen not to the dark whispers. Believe you are cherished. Cast off the lie. Deny it. Refuse it. Reject it. Hear my voice and return to the light.
We're gonna continue to toughen.
Almighty above, that we may serve in peace and liberty.
This fight has not been so kind to us. If we weren't starting from as strong a position as we were, I would be a little concerned.
Deliver us from this tyranny, from the grip of this unclean and unworthy spirit. Hear us, so we may crush this evil and drive it back to the pit whence it came.
So we're not going to fully block this turn, but that's fine because we have plenty of recovery. Even so, I don't love it. This is definitely the most dirty this deck has done us so far. Oh, there we go.
Behold the light, thing of darkness. Behold the mighty and tremble before me. We will overcome. We will overcome. We will persevere. The blessed will drive you from our hearts.
So we're going to do everything we can from this hand, and then we're going to Great Wheel and get another hand and keep going. Nope, or not. But that's the theoretical power of the Great Wheel, is that we can do it and keep going. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Yeah, we're just not going to take any of those. Yeah. Really, we're looking exclusively for card draw spells at this point. As I approached the apartment building, I already knew what lay within. The front entrance was wide open, beckoning, daring me to enter. I knew there were people who lived there, huddled frightened in their bedrooms, but they gave no evidence of their presence. Their curtains were drawn, their lights were off, perhaps all in an effort not to draw attention. Its attention. I took a deep breath and walked inside. Is it now? Tell me more. I want to hear. I want to hear. One flickering light bulb hung over the stairs, swaying gently. I climbed, my every footstep echoing on the peeling, muddied vinyl. I was on the top floor. I could feel it breathing, expanding its presence over the entire building like a shroud, soaking up the darkness in every corner. When I got up to the final landing, I was unsurprised to find an apartment with its door also open. I saw frost on the door frame. I shivered in the sudden icy chill. No reason to stop now. A young man lived here, or used to. Now it was an apartment filled with filth and flies, everything covered in a heavy frost as if suspended in time. And shivering in the corner, hands over his head as he mutters profanities in a long-forgotten language, was the host. He was completely oblivious to my entrance, but he's not the one I was here to fight. Let's do this. What manner of symbols are these? Because they definitely are symbols, but like, I definitely also got the vibe that they were not as intentional as they could have been. Yeah. These two definitely come across as alchemical symbols to me. This one? Yeah. This one is something else. I want to say it's like, my instinct is to say Arabic or some other Middle Eastern alphabet that does differently than English. I feel like I've seen that as like a Hebrew letter. And I apologize if I'm mixing languages horrifyingly. But I think this might be a Hebrew letter or something. I really have little idea. It's not a... And this just seems like a... that doesn't really seem like anything, I'm gonna be real with you. We're gonna... I think I actually really like doing my recite the pages before I hold my ground on these.
Think of darkness. We will overcome. We will persevere. The blessed will drive you from our hearts. Wax melts before the fire, so the wicked shall perish at the presence of faith.
Huh? I am about to run into the issue of running out of cards in my deck that I can ash. Ugh! Like right now, when I have no cards that I can ash. So I can't Adamantine Resolve because I've already burnt all the cards in my deck. Okay, that's something we might need to watch. I think it's something that having one or two fewer cards in my deck could really help with.
Faith is my sword. I cast light upon the darkness. I say to thee, release your hold and tremble before the righteous.
But also being a bit more conservative with how I go about revealed. Okay. So we were right about alchemical symbol on the first one.
Tell me your name, demon!
Lebec of the Cold.
Be gone.
What are you? What are you? Okay, so it's stolen my card. It's probably planning to keep doing that. Wait. Oh, cannot be burnt or played. So it's in the deck. It's gonna be annoying to me. I just can't use it. Okay. Interesting. I would like to have my card back.
Spirits of wickedness in this world of darkness. Defend those who have redeemed at great price from the tyranny of evil.
And then we go to setup again. It's like, oh my dear, 75? Okay, we're gonna have to play this very carefully. Let's collect ourselves.
I call upon the watchers, those who stand in the shadows.
Okay. That makes sense. If I can just... Perfect. We're in it. We're back in it. We burn 2, use the 3rd. That way, if we draw it back, we can keep using it. Okay. Recite the passages. We miss because of the doubt. We're gonna burn 1, 2. Hold your ground. We're gonna burn this hold your ground in order to get our adamantine resolve off. And it's gonna suck a little bit. But we'll be fine because we have a ton of healing. That does not how much damage I thought it was supposed to deal, but okay. I'm not gonna complain, certainly. I would like, actually, can we just get St. Benedict's protection back up? Thank you. It certainly didn't feel like 75 damage. Yep, gotta be careful with how I go about this turn. Yep, we made our choices, that's fine. I probably should have burnt the adamantine resolve. It's taking damage to do some of these things. Oh, I hate you. Well, we're gonna collect ourselves first. Then we're gonna start holding our ground. Killing this one should be much easier than the first one we had to take out. No, I'm actually gonna hold Benediction. I missed on both. That's rough. Not worth this turn. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that. Now should be the fight turn. Yeah, but only 24, so we're kind of fine.
infestation. I humbly prostrate myself before the Elder's powers, whose whispers still echo. Cannot endure.
Okay, so we're going to get doubt here, is I think the debuff it's applying. The damage it deals is based on how many of the things it has, which is good to know. It's why it was less damage and why it didn't stay until the very end. Because let's not get too into that, just because I think there will be information in-game about it.
I beseech you to deliver us from this infernal spirit, this thick wickedness. Grant us thy protection. Grant us thy mercy.
Okay, we are once again at the stage of try to get off as many buffs as possible before things run out. Get ourselves buffed up as much as possible before we run out of time here.
Most glorious Lord of heaven above, hear my prayer.
And that includes we are back at full. Despite these demons' best efforts, we are at full health.
Defend us against the spirits of wickedness in this world of darkness. Defend those who you have redeemed at great price from the tyranny of evil. I command you, O wicked serpent, O deceiver of innocence.
Perfect. So it's just, it's not even trying, that's a summon, isn't it? It's gonna try and summon into, okay.
With faith is my shield, and faith is my sword. I cast light upon
Non-zero
darkness.
chance we can kill this
I
burn.
say to thee, release your hold and tremble before the righteous.
Holy water. It's 10 damage at end of turn on top of whatever else we do here.
Deliver us, Almighty above.
Okay, we have
may
it.
serve in peace
We
and
so have it.
liberty.
Let's do a regular compel just to finish things now. There we go.
Return whence you
Perfect. No relic, but that's fine. Oh, no, thank you. A second adamantine resolve? I'm not opposed to that. That could be good. Okay, hold on. Let's take a look at what we have here. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 card draw spells and an 18 card deck. So the odds of us not getting, so 5 divided by 18. Actually, no. I should. This is technically a hypergeometric calculator question. No, this is not a chunk one. This is a, do I pick up a second adamantine resolve? And I think the conclusion I'm reaching is a no. Between the amount of recovery I have and the fact that I'm seeing most of my deck most turns, I think I'm fine without it. No, we'll get the chance to do that when we see Gideon again. The thief was outside a convenience store again, ripping away at stolen lottery tickets with his raw and bloody fingers. Scratch, scratch, scratch. The nails on the man's left hand were broken and chewed up like shredded paper, his exposed nail beds bleeding and swollen. This time I noticed his other hand, which was worse. There was exposed bone. I shook the man, trying to stop him, to snap him out of it. Scratch, scratch, scratch. What good would coaxing the demon out of the gambler do? He'd just go back to his vice. It was all he had to hope for. But there was something beyond hope that made him do this. Something beneath it. The demon inside pushed him beyond his limits, pushed him towards literal self-destruction. Oh, this guy's almost done for, the demon inside the gambler said. You want to try your luck? I thought you'd never ask, I said. It was a question of what are the odds that I get one of my draw spells on a given turn. And if I think the answer is high. But I was tempted in that moment to check. I don't need more cards at this stage. I need to set up. Like that turn, I was able to see most of my deck, and on most turns, I should have at least one draw spells in my hand. One draw spell in my hand. Great Wheel is an excellent card. This is true. I'm kind of tempted to just use it immediately. I think I will. No point in burning cards that I don't need to. Upgrade to cost 2 would be great. I'm comfortable doing this. I've gotten enough of an understanding of how my deck works that I'm starting to get comfortable making weird plays that seem weird on the surface, which is good. I want to be comfortable doing that. If I'm in a place where I can do that, then that tells me that I understand how this deck works, and that's exactly where I want to be. This is a little bit of a rough hand because I have to burn most of it to accomplish my goals. Nope, hold your grant. Second hold your grant does it. Yeah, we have finished the fighty portion of this. We're now in the defensive portion. Yep, we have them. We have them this turn. Yeah, I'm barely using my compels, and Kidu's shield is still the one that I would like to get rid of most. There is a hidden downside to continuing to just go, though. And that is, the fewer cards I have in deck, the fewer cards I can use, the less energy I have. Because if every card in my deck represents energy for me, then the more of them that I can't use, the less energy I have overall. So every time I have to discard cards, like I cycle all the way through my deck like I've done here, any amount by which any cards that I redraw on the Great Wheel that I can't replay, or that I can't reburn, cost me. So having more cards in deck is the ideal. The trick is just keeping the correct balance of card draw, and cards in deck. Yo.
Give them the strength they need to endure.
So we're certainly not killing it this turn. I suppose I should probably be setting that expectation for myself as much as for y'all.
Let them repel the foul invader.
Let's... we're gonna go ahead and Faith Restored here. And because we aren't interested in having too many... I'm going to. Because I'm not interested in having too many cards, I'm going to do the minimum there, and then we're going to roll into this next section.
May serve in peace and liberty.
Let's burn these compels, because we're not. Our goal is not damage
Deliver us from this tyranny, from the grip of this unclean and unworthy spirit.
Grabby. It is once again a metaphor of like reaching for power. Like this game claims to be playing with a lot of metaphors. Really, 90% of them are greed. That's fine. And that might be a thing I actually just like hold as I don't love this about the game, is that it's claiming to be about a ton of things, and most of them are greed. This is pretty good. I like seeing this as the hand that I draw back into. If I don't hold my ground here...
So we may crush this evil and drive it back to the pit whence it came.
Weird, it says I'm good on my end. Give me a moment. I'm reloading Twitch just to see if I can see what's going on with it. Okay. Says things are unstable, but they seem to be okay now. Fingers are sometimes not great.
Thing of darkness, behold the mighty and tremble before me.
I know I hadn't used half the cards in there, but I wanted to keep them for the next go-round, because I knew there was going to be one. We're at 19, we can afford to block. Oh, we can afford to do both, apparently. Oh, I underestimated how many times that was going to damage me. I can see that it's happening, but my best way to fix it would be to restart stream. Oh, okay. Give me just a moment then. Hello, are we back? Are we back? Hello? Hello? Are we in it? It doesn't seem to be working from my end, but if you all say that it's working, then I'm going to trust you. So strange. Let me see if I can make something happen on the OBS end. Let's bring down... See if this helps. Hello, hello? Okay. I can see chat. Okay, good. If you can hear me, then that's a better place to be. I've attempted to drop my bitrate into the floor in order to fix the issues that seem to be getting caused there. So we'll see if that works. I'm gonna start playing again. Let me know if you can't see me. Okay, we are at expel stage. The chat widget is back. That's fascinating.
We will overcome. We will persevere. The blessed will drive you from our hearts. As wax melts before the fire, so the wicked shall perish at the presence of fate. This is the hour of our need. This is the hour of our dread. Our voices rise as one and cast into the wind.
Perfect. So weird. Why is it doing this? Did you see that sequence of acts? Oh, what the heck? If the demon just started phase 3 for you, that's... something's... Why is it being like this? I'm gonna try stopping and starting one more time. Well, hold on. Let me see if I can... Is this better? Hi, Dust. Are we back? Please tell me we're back. Has the demon passed? Oh. Well, it knocked offline for a moment. Ugh. Hello? We're back? Are we back? Hello? Hey, we seem to be back. Yay! Apologies for all the technical issues. No, we seem to be back now. Can you see me moving about my cards? See me moving about my cards. You can! Beautiful. Okay. I may be being a little too cavalier with my HP, but we're gonna keep being cavalier with our HP, because, I'm frankly not worried about it at this point.
Come to our aid and drive out the evil before us.
I can heal it up as I play the game.
Those who stand stand within the holy light. Be solemn and bear witness.
Because that's the stage of the game we've hit at this point. I mentioned it just a little bit, but I expect, like, we know that the demons, the enemies scale depending on how far you are in the game. So yeah, I am. This is not surprising to me.
Give them the strength they need to endure.
But as long as I have the ability to keep reciting,
To be gone.
we're kind of good. Because we can keep scaling and keep healing. I would love a card that lets me heal better. Ooh, I kind of like that. I can deal with that. This is a card I can play. And that's a card I can play multiple times as the deck cycles. Yeah, we're going to take that. It does apply to vulnerable, which is a risk. But it's a risk I'm relatively comfortable taking. I'd been in Gideon's mansion in his sitting room having drinks for over an hour now. He was on either the third or fourth whiskey, and while it smelled good, I was fine with my water. Mostly his endless chatter had been about the city, I think. How empty it was on the few occasions he'd left his mansion to see it. Yet how well it reflected the torment of mortal life even in its current state, and would no doubt continue to do so if it deteriorated further. I found it less fascinating and would have already left if I hadn't been burning to ask him a question. Gideon slammed back the last of his latest drink, and I could tell he was ready to launch into a story. Instead, he paused, arching an eyebrow at me. "You're bored," he said, as more as an observation than an accusation. "Yet you haven't left. That's curious." I felt relieved. "It was something you said recently, that the last time you met an angel is what led to you being on the run from Hell's hierarchy." "Ah." He made a sour face, and I realized this might have been a sore spot. Did he have those? I suppose I didn't say that, didn't I? If it's personal, I can always... No, I put the gun on the table, as Mr. Chekhov would say. It's only right that you point out that it hasn't been fired yet. There was a mixture of metaphors there on which I decided it was best not to comment. Gideon leaned back in his chair, looking up at the ceiling as if the tale were written there. This is... Oh, let's see, has it been 2 centuries? I was in contact with a mortal on the mortal plane, possessing them. He frowned at me. No, I said I find that unpleasant, which is why I didn't do it here, even though it would have been simple enough. I know. I'm fully aware. I think Noah might be a little dumb. Very strong-willed, but dumb. Which is why I didn't do it here, even though it would have been simple enough. Instead, we chatted. It was, I think, the first time I realized mortals had needs I might supply. And the angel? Well, at the end of the day, I let the mortal off, sent them on their way, and when I turned around, they were there, blazing glory and all. I was surprised. They didn't attack you? They did not, although they could have. Their sword was at the ready as they floated there, wreathed in its holy flames, but they simply stared at it and then flew off after a time. I waited for more, but there was nothing. That's it? If it was a good story, I'd tell it more. He shrugged. But you're as incredulous as I was, as the hierarchy was. They were certain I'd made some kind of deal, and you hadn't. I had not. I was certain they were about to smite me, but they didn't, and I've been in hiding ever since. An angel showing mercy to a demon? I can see why the hierarchy found it hard to believe. I wasn't sure I did either. Gideon, however, was sticking to his story. So, Angel found and met Gideon. Alright, we've discovered... I don't think the Great Wheel is good in multiples, because we've discovered that it doesn't care about... Like, the Great Wheel doesn't help, doesn't, like, do miracle stuff. When you Great Wheel and draw a new hand, none of the miracle triggers. I could Witch's Brew. I don't love it. But I do need healing. Remove card. Let's cut Enkidu's Shield, I think is the worst card in the deck right now. I think the worst cards in the deck right now are Enkidu's Shield, and then probably these basics. So let's cut Enkidu's Shield. Let's cut a Compel. So are all the cards we can remove. And let's put more discount into this shop. Time for the boss. Oh, this is again where we're looking at trying to balance, like, having enough burn material and having the cards to play and like consistently getting our draw cards. If we've seen several times that we can just get turns where we don't get our draw cards, and in those turns we don't do a whole lot. So the more often we can see our draw cards, the more often we can play better. It sort of cycles. As I rode into the inner core, I felt nervous. I knew the thing would be waiting for me here, the demon that crawled along the walls and spoke in sing-song rhymes. I hadn't even made it this far the last time the night began. Maybe the demon here had become lax, maybe it had wandered off in the meantime. Unlikely. As unlikely as the one who guarded the strip would ever not be there, watching. No doubt this one charted my progress and knew exactly which road I'd be riding into the downtown area on. It wasn't like there was much in the way of traffic to distract it. As soon as I felt its presence, my first instinct was to step on the gas, to ride on and leave it behind. But no, I slowed down against my will. It wanted me to come to it. It demanded I show myself. I looked around but didn't see it. No pair of bright eyes looking out from the shadows. That was almost worse. My skin itched, certain it was right behind me. And then the sing-song. You found the witch, the one who hides. I can smell her breath on you. Just as I shall slay you now, one day I'll slay her too. I tried not to listen to it. Instead, I tightened my grip on my pack and prepared for what was next. Alright, let's kill a guy. Comfortable burning that. Draw a card. Draw card. We're gonna go ahead and enemy within.
Let them repel the foul invader.
We're gonna... This is a bit risky, all things considered. Yup. That's what I feared.
The ancient powers who lie dormant, Haru and Gunara.
Don't love that. It says Sing Song, not that he's good at poetry. It says nowhere that he's good at poetry, and that does feel very exemplified by that. Okay, we gotta start scaling. We're actually gonna apply the holy water to ourselves. I think I'm in a position where I need that kind of recursive healing. True enough. We're gonna burn both of these and just get some more damage in. Love that for me. We're in a place we can easily and comfortably burn this St. Benedict's protection if needed. Ugh. Okay, we want to recite the passages. So we're gonna burn those two. Burn that, draw. Draw. Burn two, draw. Draw. Wrath buffs my damage for all my cards, including my light damage. Little reason not to. Similarly, little reason not to. Fails the buff. This is still horrifying. I love how horrifying the monsters of this game are. They're all truly like things you would never ever ever want to see in the dark.
We will overcome. We will persevere. The blessed will drive you from our hearts.
Special action. That's usually putting cards in our hand. Well, we have nothing else we need to do, so I think we're gonna just... we can build up some more. Little reason not to, unless a special action is to strip our buff. As I suspected. What does this do? One restrained. Okay, so this one wants you to play it. Interesting. So we can trade going down to drawing only 5 cards for... I kind of want to take this. Let's see how our... Yeah, I actually am. I'm gonna accept this. Well, this one doesn't do anything bad if I don't play it. In fact, burning is the quote-unquote correct option.
Let's wax melt before the fire, so the wicked shall perish at the presence of fate.
That one really wants you to... It's either draw fewer cards next turn and gain more curio odds, or bunch of bad effects that don't really matter. Yeah. Entirely depends on the curse as far as I can tell.
Whose whispers still echo?
Perfect burn card here.
Seek you to deliver us from this infernal spirit, this thing of wickedness.
We're gonna make it really easy for us to rebuild next turn.
Grant us thy protection, grant us thy mercy.
And now we're going into setup. We're gonna do everything in our power to make sure that we are prepared for the next portion of this fight. Wheel. Burn, collect. Adamantium. Perfect. We'll go ahead and do that. We get 46 going into this next fight. The 25 ward is useful, but if I don't have to take it, like, part of the advantage of it is it's a great burn card if I don't need the vulnerable, if I don't need or want the vulnerable. And if I do need or want the vulnerable, then it becomes a great, like, fight card. A defensive card. Like, if I just need the block. Suppose I probably need to put a bit more defense up. 75 should be plenty. Let's go on the offense. Game. That is a successful Act 2 victory. It was plus 25 will? Yo. Yo! It was easy because we'd set ourselves up good. We have something that benefits when we burn things. Tome of the Damned could be quite good. What does the Spectre do? Ooh! Because for every 3 damage, and I start with 3 silvered, so it's basically whenever they deal me 3 damage, they get a vulnerable applied. Which is an excellent way to keep the pressure up. I think this is probably our play. The only other option is this Tome of the Damned. which is effectively burn, which if I burn is +1 silver, +5 damage to something in exchange for taking 5 damage. But I don't know, given how much damage scaling the guys had this act, I kind of want to not be inflicting a bunch of damage on myself when I don't know what's coming. So we're taking the Spectre, and we'll be happy there. Alright, once more. And we are once more going to look for the route with as many greater demons as we can find. Looks like if we go this way, we find a lot of greater demons. But then we hit no shops, or only one shop, which I don't like. Is there any other way that gives us greater demons and shops? 1, 2, no. It's gotta be this way then, unfortunately. We're at a point where that's fine, though. I didn't know why I was drawn to this simple apartment building. It seemed simple enough, solid, the kind of place middle-class families might live. No pervasive sense of demonic oppression I could pick up. And then I heard it. Screams coming from somewhere inside. Horrible screams, cries of pain and desperation, like people being hacked alive or worse. I kicked open the building's front door and ran upstairs to the source of the sound. I found the apartment with its door wide open, and when I ran inside, what I found took me by complete surprise. A young boy stood in the middle of the living room, surrounded by what appeared to be his family. He had a clarinet in his hand, which he'd stopped playing the moment I'd entered. Apparently, I'd interrupted his performance, and yet, something wasn't right. The family members were all paying rapt attention to the boy, grins on their faces so wide I could see their molars. None of them said anything about the stranger who had just barged into their home. "Come on," said a woman I assumed was the boy's mother. "Finish the song." I waited. I was beginning to sense an infernal presence here, after all, but where? The boy brought the instrument back to his lip and began to play violent, horrendous notes. The screams I'd heard in the alleyway were coming from the vibrating reed of the boy's clarinet. The screams sounded so human, a battering of unfathomable pain and anguish amid the grinding of rusty gears, a slaughterhouse in a song. The boy paused every so often, like he was trying to remember the next note in the song before another wail was pushed out of the instrument from some poor unseen soul. The family around the boy squirmed in their seats awkwardly, like there was a gun to their heads and they were being forced to enjoy this. Their smiles seemed exaggerated, put on for the benefit of the boy. A drop of blood slowly dripped out of the mother's ear. It was almost unendurable, and I reeled from the screeching. When the boy finished playing, the family stood and clapped enthusiastically, like they'd just heard some incredible symphony conclude instead of the cacophony. "Bravo," said the boy's mother. "Bravo!" The boy smiled and bowed before he finally noticed me standing in the doorway. "Why aren't you clapping?" he demanded. "Did you not like my song?" "That was meant to be a song?" I asked, genuinely confused. "It was indeed," the boy replied, his head bent forward, staring at me through his furrowed brow. "Such beautiful sorrow, don't you agree?" His family all nodded like idiots. "Oh yes, son. Oh yes, you're incredible, Tony. Not one mistake. The next Carl Behrman. The next Artie Shaw." There was a demon in this boy, working through the instrument in his hands. The family's fear was palpable. They were hostages. "I have a few notes," I said, setting down my pack and preparing for what came next. True enough of so many people. I've heard so many terrible people play a clarinet. By the way, it should be noted, my objective for this game, overall, when I will consider it beaten and move on to the next, is I am looking to beat the game. If I can get to Malys and beat them, then I will consider that complete. I'm sure there is a ton that can be done in the post-game, but for the purposes of our run, Spectre is already doing a great work. For the purposes of our run, we'll consider that victory. Oh, we've already... Oh, my dear, I can't believe we've already popped him. I'm a little surprised by that, honestly. I expected more fight. Should probably heal myself a bit here while I have the opportunity. Would love to recite the passages a second time this turn. I have a number of ideas. I think the next game we're going to play when we're done with this is we're going to do Slay the Princess. Oh my dear, Timolt. You look incredible. This is such a cool design. It reminds me of, only a handful of you will get this reference, unfortunately. Wait, I can't target it. Oh, it's dealing damage to everybody right now. If I deal damage, it deals damage to everybody. Okay, good to know. This is a perfect time to enemy within. Uh-huh. And this is a not great turn, so we're just going to be able to sit here and set up our defenses nice and tight. This is only going to be a reference that blocks for some certain people here. This design reminds me of Biolante. For those who know, Biolante is a Godzilla monster. Also, we're not great wheeling this turn. Yeah, Biolante is a Godzilla monster, a classic Godzilla-like plant monster. Full of plantiness. And, like, red blooms on the end of long green vines are a classic of their monster design. Oh, and we have no more card draw. Fascinating. But we can take him out this turn. I can spare a picture of them in the Discord when we're done here. Don't love the way this is shaking. I think this may also be another... No, we can afford to go for a great deal here. So we can collect ourselves. A single arcane shield will make sure we're safe. Do I keep going? No, I think I can end there here safely. Fascinating. Fascinating that it looped like that for so long. Why did it do that and not the damage it said it was gonna do? Oh, because we're linked. We're pacted. Weird. How all these interactions work is a little beyond me, I'm gonna be honest. It's interacting in some very strange ways.
Leave this innocent and be gone.
But we don't have to worry about those strange ways. We've won. 40 faith and a card. No. Ah. So, okay, I've been wondering for some time. I've seen a card or two that require four lights, and several things that care about having 4 lights. This is the first time I've seen a way to get to 4 lights. I don't think I take any of these, though. I don't need them. The only one I would really consider is Speak Thy Name. But I don't need it. We're ramping over the damage dealt. We don't need to worry about reducing it too much here. At least for now. If things get bad, it could get real bad. A lonely convenience store interchangeable with any other in the city. Dim fluorescent lights, smudged windows, and faded signs that cheerfully declared sales for things that no one needed or wanted. A single tired employee puttered around within, but the weak infernal presence I detected wasn't coming from him. No, it was here, outside, somewhere in the empty parking lot. I began to look, preparing myself for anything. I found what I was looking for at the small payphone near the bathrooms. A small boy stood there, receiver in hand, but looking at the phone with perplexity. "Nobody's answering," he whined to me when I approached. "Nobody's coming. Nobody's coming ever." Then he looked at me, and his eyes were pitch black. The demon was inside, suckling on the boy's despair. It was a pitiful thing, and already I knew its name. I wonder if there's some, like, metaphysics going on in this game. That he just knows some of these guys' names. That doesn't seem like the sort of thing you just know. Also, yes, as ever, some of the coolest designs in this
That we
game.
may serve in peace and liberty. Deliver us from this tyranny, from the grip of this unclean and unworthy spirit. Hear us, so we may crush this evil and drive it back to the pit whence it came.
I take a whole lot more if I don't. I don't love the vulnerable, but it's fine. Deals 1 damage at the start of your turn and reduces stacks by half. Okay, that's fine. I would like to set up the Spectre. We'll see if we can, though. I have no idea what we're going to be able to do there. Okay, let's set up for a recite. Then we can hold our ground.
This is the hour of our need. This is
Holy
the
water
hour of our
ourselves. Burn 2 to set up Spectre. Wheel. Collect yourself. That's fine. Shield. Enemy. Hold.
voices rise as one and cast into the wind.
Shield. Recite. Hold.
Come to our aid and drive out the evil before us.
Ben E, yeah, this is such cool design. Oh, I don't think we've seen one of these monster designs miss. Some of them are mildly horrifying. If that's not missing, that's just really cool monster design.
Almighty above, that we may serve in peace and liberty. Deliver us from this tyranny.
Yeah, it
from
looks
the grip
hand-drawn.
of this unclean and unworthy spirit.
Okay, we're good for the self-healing. We can return to enemy damaging.
So we may crush this evil and drive it back to the pit whence it came.
Start getting some work built back up. Predictable demon. Predictable as ever.
Glorious Lord of heaven above, hear my prayer.
Compelled!
Pits, I command you.
What a... I'm so pleased with this deck. Again, we don't want that. Oh! We can do that. Because that'll just be more damage. Yeah, I'm cool with... We can try that. I see no reason not to. We're going to be able to set up the Spectre with relative ease. We haven't had any trouble with them going down. It was the kind of place where someone wealthy lived. A rock star, maybe, or a dilettante who'd never held a job in their entire life. Someday it had been glamorous. Nowadays it didn't feel so plush. From the moment I walked through the door, it was heavy with the scent of decay, like something evil had been oozing in its own juices for far too long. The fancy apartment was now the home of a dark and terrible creature, a squatter that had taken over the owner body and soul. I went hunting. The demon would be no match for me. That was a remarkably quick... Oh, that's mildly horrifying. Love that as a design. It is indeed horrifying. Wheel? Collect. Compel. Arcane Shield. Sight. Hold. Protect. Let's... I'm comfortable burning cards this turn to set up the Spectre. I'm not worried about my health. It's only 16 damage. I can recover that without any issue whatsoever. But having Spectre set up means that we can... It's one fewer dud card in our deck to draw. And B, just it makes our assist card, it turns it on.
Give them the strength they need to endure.
So it helps us in kind of all respects to have that online. I don't expect this to be a long fight. The angler design is so good. It's got a human there as the angle. For lack of a better word, the angle. I've already recite once this turn. I'm comfortable letting it drop for the second time. Love seeing that again. I would love to use that, but unfortunately it's not happening this turn. So we'll burn it and have be at 2 energy to start next turn. We're really putting very little effort into killing this demon, unfortunately. We've kind of just been messing around with our own deck.
This is the hour of our need. This is the hour of our dread. Our voices rise as one, cast into the wind.
Do I have a hand size limit? I don't actually know.
And drive out the evil before us.
I'm starting to think I don't.
Almighty above, that we may serve in peace and liberty.
We're just kind of going.
From the grip of this unclean,
What our goal is at what our goal is at this point a little irrelevant.
back to the pit whence it came. Here.
I do like just getting to go. Oh, is that like a do we manage to beat Act 3 now? I think this deck stands a strong chance of it. Violent Recollection! Oh, such a good card. True Faith could be good too. I think we take Violent Recollection. It's a draw card. I'm not even. There's nothing else to say. It helps me to continue cycling through the deck, and is another card in the deck. A sterile gray office, flickering overhead lights buzzed like a swarm of flies. The maze of cubicle spaces, divided by shoulder-high portable walls, led to other cubicle spaces, divided by other shoulder-high portable walls. I'd spent... I'm sorry. Just... Sometimes the writing of this game produces really unique, good descriptive phrases. Other times, other times we're on shoulder-high portable walls. And I can't help but laugh, because it's just a little silly. I'd spent a lifetime trying to avoid places like this. It was well after hours, and this place was almost empty, save for one keen worker in the corner clacking away at his yellowed keyboard like a data processing virtuoso. It was within this man that I sensed the infernal. Just a moment, I'll be right with you, he said when he noticed me. I'm on deadline and I just need to finish this up. His eyes had not moved from the screen, skittering from left to right as he wrote whatever he was writing. I noticed he wasn't blinking before I looked closer to see why. Safety pins pierced through his upper and lower eyelids to keep them from closing. I leaned in to see what was so important. There were no paragraphs, no punctuation on the page, just 3 words over and over. Stop and die, stop and die, stop and die, stop and die, stop and die. It's not finished yet, so don't judge me if I made any mistakes, the man said nervously, as if I were his supervisor. I put a hand on his shoulder. How long have you been at this? Since I signed the contract, he said, furiously clacking away the keys. He had typed so much that the computer was struggling to keep up, groaning under the weight of this single enormous text file. You need to stop, I told the man. I need to speak to you about something important. I can't, the man said. Like I said, I'm on a deadline. Stop and die, stop and die, stop and die. It couldn't be helped. I pulled him off the keyboard. Yeah, no, he screamed like I was tearing off a part of his body. The act was enough to draw out the demon driving this man in his infinite task. I'm very disappointed in at your lack of professionalism, it growled in a low monotone. You're fostering a hostile work environment, and if you continue to impede this essential work, I'm afraid I'll have to terminate you effective immediately. Some demons are more mischievous than outright malicious, curious about the ways of mortals and our various biological limits. This demon was playing with the man like he was a toy. If I didn't intervene, he would die at his desk. Alright. This was sure to be interesting. We're gonna burn. Ooh. Well, let's start here. Burn. Yeah, okay. We're setting up, it's fine. It's kind of a bad turn, but we're setting up, it's fine. Okay. We're going to set up for our next turn, and then we're comfortable passing on that. Demon resources? I suppose it would be. See, that's what I was expecting when I burnt that in the first place.
Let them repel the foul invader. I command you, wicked serpent, deceiver of innocence.
We've revealed it, so at this point we are going for buffs. We're taking this opportunity to send our numbers as high as we can while we can. So in this situation, we're absolutely prioritizing reciting passages over drawing more cards. Because that's the ultimate goal here, is to get up. Oh, my dear, wait, silence. Beautiful. Like, it's obviously horrifying, but, like, this design is gorgeous. It's so pretty. Give me just a moment, actually. I need to make sure... Hold on, actually. I'll just send them a screenshot. I have a friend who will really enjoy seeing this. It's such a cool design!
Sword. I can't fight in the darkness.
I'm totally comfortable using that.
Release your hold and tremble before the
I don't
righteous.
think so. I don't think so. I wonder. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. Okay, that's useful for us here. Burn that. We're gonna do this to keep cards cycling. Oh, I thought I had one more. That's fine. Okay, okay, so this is the defend turn. I kind of wish I'd hit this resolve more frequently, given that this is the defend turn. Perfect. I do really wish there was a way to view the art full screen. Alas, but it doesn't seem that there is, though. That's what I was hoping for, would be that the vulnerable that I dealt it would pump the damage that I dealt it, my ally dealt it with the righteous, and it did. Ha! Also, 74 damage is a ton. Good thing we're not going to take it. What do I have in draw? Oh, I would need to draw specifically the Hold Your Ground. Or the Great Wheel, I suppose, would be fine. And I can draw 3 cards here, so I have good odds of hitting.
From the grip of this unclean and unworthy spirit.
Oh, at this point we're drawing to gain. Or drawing to gain. Which, if we can't get the wheels, and that's all we can do, but we will have the wheel next turn, even though it's not a great form. I think we can wipe this guy this turn, even if we get the right draws. Not totally comfortable just pronouncing that, but
So we may crush this evil and drive it back to the
rough,
place where it came.
because this is gorgeous art. That's game. Oh, I forgot to heal myself up. Oh well. Alas, but I'll honestly be fine. Let me click the faith reward. That's not necessary. I don't think I need any of these. These are not necessary. It was the kind of place where someone wealthy lived. A rock star, maybe, or a dilettante who'd never held a job in their entire life. Someday, it had been glamorous. Clunky wording here. Nowadays, it didn't feel so plush. From the moment I walked through the door, it was heavy with the scent of decay, like something evil had been oozing in its own juices for far too long. We've heard it's used this before. A squatter that had taken over the owner, body and soul. I went hunting. The demon would be no match for me. We float! When they pop, they deal that much damage. So I gotta be real careful when I recite the passages. Got it.
And have always fought against the most ancient of evils.
I need to not actually recite the passages until I can deal with these balloons. Which is going to require I build up some block. Oh, I didn't need to end my turn there. I could have kept going. That's dumb of me. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we need to hold that until we have the defend we need. Rough. That'll do it, though. Give me another one of those. Another one of these, and then we can hold your ground the other one. Just pop it. Then we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Why did it take me? Oh, okay. Burn. Can't burn that yet.
Glorious Lord of heaven above, hear my prayer.
We can finally start building up a little
Spirit
bit.
of wickedness,
Not that
in
we
this
need
world
it,
of
clearly.
darkness. Defend those who have redeemed at great price from the tyranny of evil. I speak now to the host.
It's going to try and pop the minions that it no longer has, because we popped them ahead of time.
Though you are loved, listen not to the dark whispers. Believe you are cherished. I command
Done.
you to be gone.
That's game. These guys really aren't too hard when you're as good as I am. It's more card draw and another, like, it cycles itself and it's another card I can burn. Sounds perfect for what we're looking for. I'm trying not to get too cocky. It's just that when you're playing as incredibly out of your mind as I am, I entered what appeared to be an office, like so many others in this barren city, full of cubicles and empty desks. Only some of the lights were on. The office was closed, and yet the door had been wide open, and I could sense the infernal within. Something weak and feeble, yet it pulled at me even so. I needed to find it quickly. I didn't. It took me over an hour looking around everywhere. The desks were empty, the break room was empty, the adjoining offices were empty. It was quiet. Except, when I was near the supply closet, I heard a faint sound. Giggling? Sure enough, I opened the door to find a man hidden behind the boxes and supplies inside, curled up into a fetal position and giggling madly. The demon was within, clutching tightly at its control with its limited strength. I didn't need to reveal its name. I knew this would not take long.
Deny it! Refuse it! Reject it! Hear my voice and return to the light! Most glorious Lord of heaven above, hear my prayer!
Rough hand to start on, but we'll make it manage. We're gonna want to take our time a little more here so that we can recover this HP loss. 12? Ugh. Oh, the vulnerables are helping it. Yikes. Okay. As I said, we're going to take our time some more here. We're going to recover health. I don't think we are going to set up the Spectre for some time, honestly.
Defend us against the spirits of wickedness in this world
Or I
of
could do
darkness.
it now. I could burn 1, 2, 3. Make 1. Set up the assist. Burn for 2 energy. Great wheel. And then from here, easy resolve. Easy burn.
You have redeemed at great price from the tyranny of evil.
Resolve. Burn 3 to set up for next turn. If you're thirsty, go drink something. Collect. Recite. That's going to be our primary damage for a bit because we're focusing on other things.
We will overcome. We will persevere. The blessings will drive you from our hearts.
Perfect. That's exactly what we were looking for. Drop. Still using healing, so it doesn't matter as much if they focus on healing yet.
Whose whispers still echo?
Clean around. I think we cycled the entire deck that turn. Or close to it. Okay, it's getting ready to try and deal me a ton of damage. That's fine. We have plenty of good block. Ba-ba-ba.
I beseech you to deliver us from this infernal spirit, this thing of wickedness.
Actually use both of these. And we're gonna burn to hold.
Leave us. Return whence you came.
Okay. This is good. This is good. None of these are what we need. Adamantine Resolve is good, but we don't need it right now. Okay, we're gonna go this way so that we can get the curio shop. I was at the door of a small house, the kind of shabby place with a tiny yard that was clinging to its tiny lot in the inner city far longer than it should have. Probably because whoever lived here didn't have the money to go anywhere else. And they had bigger problems anyhow. I could sense the presence of the infernal within, like a dark cloud that hung over the property. It's what had drawn me here. Inside there was only silence. The shades on every window were drawn. I dreaded what I might find within. I rang the doorbell. I was almost surprised when a middle-aged woman answered. She had the look of worry and exhaustion, dark circles under her eyes and nails chewed down to nothing. But the demon I sensed wasn't coming from inside her. In fact, she looked almost relieved to see me. Are you the exorcist? She asked hesitantly. That was a new one. I am. She closed her eyes for a moment, mouthing a silent prayer, and then opened the door fully to let me inside. I've asked this church so many times, over and over, they keep telling me that they'd send someone to evaluate the situation, or whatever that means. The woman realized she was babbling and suddenly snapped her mouth closed. I'm sorry. Don't be, I told her. Where's the host? It's my husband, Barney. He's in his room. I followed her inside, this feeling of evil mounting around me. It was a simple home, suffering from poverty and long neglect, dark thanks to all the drawn shades. The shadow contributed to the ominous feeling that prickled my skull. And no, you didn't miss anything important, by the way. She led me to a closed door, wringing her hands anxiously. Barney's room, I assumed. She took out a key and unlocked it, though her hands shook so much she could barely manage. I could hear the moaning already, coming from within, the sound of a man in agony. Wait here, I told her as I went inside. There wasn't much to the room, a mattress on the floor and bare walls with deep gouges anywhere, some bloody, all caused by human fingernails. A middle-aged man thrashed around on the mattress, bound by lengths of rope, but only barely. He paused the moment I went inside. He breathed and chuckled. It was the demon talking. So there you are. There you are. I've been waiting for you, you know. Can you even hear me when I do that voice? I've been waiting for you, you know. Bah. Yeah, okay, you can hear me. Probably. I put down my pack and prepared. Either I saved Barney or no one would. Okay, this is a good hand. I like this hand quite a bit. We have an obvious starting burn to get us into cards. And we can burn a compel for an easy adamantine sight. Falling into a free hole. Burn a compel for a violent wreck. Great wheel is fine. Burn. Hold. Burn. Burn. Recite.
Fought against the most
Burn.
ancient
Burn. Hold. Hold.
against the shadows.
Burn. Great. I don't wonder. I know why my throat gets messed up playing this game. It's not gonna stop me, but I am. My throat is messed up after playing this game frequently. We can do that. Compel into violent. Collect myself. We'll burn all of these cards to set up Spectre with the assist, so that when we Great Wheel here, that's one or two fewer cards that we have to consider whether we'll draw. Recite. Burn. Burn. Hold. Burn. Resolve. Burn.
Tell me your name, demon.
Perfect. This is reasonable. Cool microphone. Oh my dear. That's... What? You have, like, a demon with, like, horns through its face and, like, only one eye visible, but you can actually see that there's a second demon in the background with many hands grabbing all over the foreground demon and, like, controlling it. That's such a cool design! Every enemy that we come across in this game is so cool. I need to be using those on myself. I need to recover some health here. Oh, hey, Dread. So I want to light all my candles. That's fine, I can do that. Why did I take damage anyway? 3 terrors. Interesting. So these are bad. This demon wants me to keep all my candles lit at all times. Okay. Doable. Yes, but I'm comfortable with the it's a little bit better for me here to I think it's a little bit better for me to have the power cards. Like, just to clear it out of the deck. And not take damage for it. Not taking damage for it is kind of very good. It's almost like not suffering the consequences of your actions. Okay, how do I want to do this? I'm getting ready to... Burn. Shield. Burn. 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 What is happening here? What? What? Why did that happen? What? Why did I just take all that damage? I'm genuinely so confused. Why did I take all that damage? But why? I honestly don't even mind getting dumpstered. I'm just confused how it happened. See, I'm cool with it if it tells me. I'm just baffled by it not. Like, I have no idea what triggered all that mess. And so I'm not sure what to do to defend myself against it. I guess I can just shield up? Doesn't feel great, but I can absolutely do that. Well, let's see if 53 is enough to defend myself here. If 53 is not enough, then we're in trouble. Okay, it was close. That's totally tolerable. I can deal with it. I can deal with close. I don't like that the dread is not going down. I would like there to be some way out of that. Let's go ahead and Great Wheel. Hold our ground. Right. Okay, we're fine. Two reasons. One, I took some additional damage for not having candles lit, and one, because I made myself vulnerable. As I said. Okay, we're back up to full now. We got there. Time for phase. What? Why did it just deal me that much? Oh my dear, I spent so much time recovering my health there, only for it to just decide, nah. This is fine. Played a game. Oh, I don't actually have anything to play the game for. So we're just gonna... I don't know why I'm taking damage. I don't know why. I take damage for each unlit candle. Okay, I have to kill it this turn or else I'm in trouble, just because of the way this has decided it's working. And I really couldn't explain why it's decided this is how this fight works to you. I just know that my only way to get to a place where I'm improving again is through.
Be gone, creature of hell.
Yeah, that kind of sucked, and I really couldn't tell you why even. That's part of the problem. Ooh. That's certainly a card. That's a powerful setup card. I don't... It's got consumed, so if it doesn't work, then it's... like, if it... I can hold it, and then it goes away. So it's kind of a fake card in that sense, in that it doesn't... I don't have to worry about it in the long term. The bar was closed. The sign on its door clearly said so, yet the lights were on within and the door was wide open. Yet I heard nothing. No music, no sound of chatting customers, and I could feel the faint presence of an infernal spirit. Not a strong one, but one which had claimed its nest inside a mortal host and held on with whatever power it could muster. I knew it feared me, and it was right to. Inside there was carnage. I could see 4 bodies spread about, some young and some old, but all men. They'd all been shot by something powerful, gaping wounds and blood everywhere. And their attacker stood behind the bar, a thin, elderly woman made of gristle. She trembled with terror, still clutching her shotgun as she stared at the dead men. I don't know why I did it, she mumbled, not even looking my way. I did. It wasn't even strong enough to hide its name. I prepared for the battle to come. We've seen this guy before. This is a setup turn, mostly just because we have nothing better to do. We drew none of our draw cards. Okay, moments of doubt are remarkably easy to deal. Like, singular doubt stacks are incredibly easy to deal with, all things considered. Oh. Comfortable going ahead and dropping that. Because immediately killing our opponent isn't super important to us here. We're more interested in an opportunity to recover a bit while we face an opponent that isn't immediately, like, trying to rip our spine out. Yeah, I know I have another compel. But what I was thinking about, like, how I want to play. Oh, I don't know that I actually wanted to kill him yet. Oh well. Will live. Explosive Entreaty would be good if I was in a worse position. Like, if I was looking for ways to draw cards and desperate for them, it would be great. The problem is, at this point, adding Volatile to just any random card is more likely to be worse for me than good. The deck has sort of shifted gears to where I'm not just gaining stacks and stacks of block without meaning to anymore. As I entered the smoky nightclub, it took a moment for my eyes to adjust to the dimness, and once they did, I was startled to find Lydia standing right in front of me. "You stink of him," she said, the crispness of each word cutting. She had her arms crossed and looked at me with a mixture of annoyance and derision. "Like he's rubbed himself all over you to mark his ownership." Ah, Angel had reacted the same way. Did I truly smell? I take it you mean Gideon. Who else? Gideon doesn't own me. Lydia tapped a long fingernail thoughtfully against her chin and then relented. "No, not yet. But he will if you continue to let him worm his way in." "How have I done that exactly?" "You've made a deal," she said. "Not for your soul, no, but you made an exchange, haven't you? You've given him your faith." "I've done the same to you," I pointed out. "I'm not a demon." She had a point, even though I could hardly imagine her own motives being very pure. "And you would have me do what instead?" Here she smiled. "You could try not dealing with him." Then she shrugged, turning away and walking to the bar. "But I know. Strange bedfellows and all that, am I right?" "Can you give me everything I need to get to Malys?" The look Lydia gave me was direct. "No." For a moment she seemed as if she was going to say more, but instead she pointed to one of the tables. "Drink?" We sat and I nursed a drink while she had several. Eventually, I asked straight. Are you ever going to tell me what went down between you and Gideon? Why you stay here on the run? Lydia gave me the barest hint of a smile. Are you ever going to tell me why you're hell-bent on hunting Malys? Why is it so personal to you? Not unless I'm forced to. She chuckled and lit her cigarette. Exactly. I've given you my warning. That's all I can do. What you do with that is up to you. That's all I could expect. I finished my drink and moved on. Okay. Interesting. That's good because I do have both silvered and inflict glow. Moonstone pendant is solid. I could take both of these. Estimate about 80, about 70, so I needed to save about 150. Am I hitting another shop before I hit? Is that Malys there? Like right there? Call that good. One more greater demon, then we fight. Room with a view. The building was nice even for the area, filled with apartments afforded decent views. What? Filled with apartments afforded decent views? What does that mean? Pretentious, expensive. It was also completely dark. No lights in any windows. The main entry was left wide open with no doorman in sight. I sensed a strong infernal presence within. This building felt, more than anything, like an expensive tomb. I ventured within carefully. I was drawn to one apartment in particular, as completely dark and quiet as the others. Its door was also wide open, like an invitation, or a dare. Inside, I heard something skitter in the shadows, like a rat sensing danger, only much bigger, the size of a man. Yeah, I guess. It hid well in the dark room. My eyes had trouble adjusting, and I squinted, trying to make out anything at all. It was after midnight, and most of the lights in the buildings outside were dark, shades of black on black. But whatever light bled in through the apartment's round window caused something in the corner to shine. Eyes. There were eyes peering out at me in the dark. Reveal yourself, I commanded, sensing a demon behind those eyes. My command was met with a condescending chuckle. I am the beckoner of the dead and gone. Whatever had taken root behind this host's eyes had a voice like a violent song or a machine. It had rhythm. I am carrion planted in salted soil. I am a snake wrapped around the base of the wither tree, blooming bitter flowers. I stepped closer. I was able to make out more shapes in the darkness, a bed, a dresser, the man in the corner. Do you like medlar jelly? The demon within the host asked me. Take the fruit. Make us some. Demons often have strange intentions. I wasn't sure what this one wanted, but I knew it was malevolence. There was nothing but malevolence in the unyielding stare of the host. He crouched, his bright eyes as wide as planets, watching me fumble towards him. I watched as a smile formed above the eyes, upside down. Alrighty. Good opener, good opener. We can recite.
Stand in the morning light.
Field collect. Let's holy water ourselves. Hold. Burn violent recall. Burn adamantine resolve. Burn. That's a setup on both our setup pieces in one turn. We like that? We like that? Ooh, the powers that be on this hand is impeccable. Compel. Hold your ground. Powers that be. Hold your ground. Collect yourself. Saint Benedict's protection. Violent recollection. Shield. Holy water. Spectre. Assist righteous. Vulture ground. Adamantine resolve. Vulture ground. Burn. Burn. Great wheel. Burn. Sight. Burn. Vulture ground. Vulture ground. Benedict's protection. Vulture ground. Burn. Collect yourself. Violent recollection. Burn. Adamantine resolve. I love this deck. This is such a good deck. I'm reasonably confident we played every card in that deck at least once. Oof. Vulture ground. It's time to start the cycle again. Burn. Recite. Violent wreck. Burn. Collect. Hold your ground. Oh. That's time in the round. So burn a bunch of cards. Be happy. Algon. Endure. I do love that there's an endure phase. Oh, that's so creepy. That's incredible. Oh, you're going to try and kill my guy? Come on now, that's my guy. What the heck is Forsaken? Forsaken is anti-heal? Okay, is it dealing that much damage? Okay, to all. So it is trying to do that to me and my ally. Okay, we have to kill this tumorous growth, though, so that I can heal. Healing is important to me. Here's a funny play I could do. I could... Oh no, I can only do that to me. I'm still at 2. We'll save that for next time. Deal some damage to this thing. Draw. Hold. There's Recite. Holy water. I have enough block to stop whatever's happening here. I don't know if it's attacking separate. But I don't want to take that chance. We're gonna... Violent? Ooh, perfect. Burn. Adamantine resolve. burn that. Great wheel? Burn enemy within. Hold your ground. I'm going to hit myself with this just in case. I have a sneaking suspicion something's gonna go off here. Oh, that's not good. I would still like to not have my guy die, but it looks like that's not an option. Oh well. Oh right, I give him block just naturally. Perfect. Perfect. No, this is fine, because from here I can heal him. And he's not taking attacks again next turn. That's great. We love this. Collect yourself. First time we've seen anything close to an ally dying all game, yeah. I have too many good opportunities here to Great Wheel just yet. Primarily that. And we can burn these two while we have the opportunity. Because it's energy that we would be basically passing up otherwise. That's the third to burn. Beautiful. Not even really trying to make that happen. Playing our foes. I am starting to despise just a little bit how many of these things have hidden special. Oh no, it's just I just have Shackle. Never mind. Yes, it's incredible. We can take that. Why are we taking so much damage? That's not how much damage it said it was dealing me. Oh, I should have done that on myself for the lights. It's fine. We got a second opportunity anyway. Yay!
Cast out this infernal infestation.
We're in a really good spot here.
Heaven above, hear my prayer.
Oh, it's summoning a new one. Okay, fine. I'm starting to think I don't actually need to worry about them, though. The Disturbed is more long-term annoying, and these only do anything if he manages to deal damage to me. Which I can prevent relatively consistently. So there's a very good argument that it really should just focus on Algon here. Let's do the same trick we pulled last time we did this, where we are burning the card draw while we're not using it. The Durg even. Hello? Hello? We're back once more time. Okay, let's kill this guy. This is different. Of course he was typing the same thing over and over. Just a moment, I'll be right with you. His fingers were purple. The last time I'd successfully exorcised the demon that was forcing this man to work himself to death. It was time to draw out the demon. This is so strange. I put my hands on the man's shoulders and forced him away from the keyboard. Forced him to palm some nearby scissors. Had to act fast. Weird. This is a different demon. And one we've already fought on this run. I think something broke when the game crashed.
Almighty above, that we may serve in peace and liberty.
I think that's a reasonable ask for the starting turn. Just as we're setting things up.
From the grip of this unclean and unworthy spirit.
We don't have to burn the energy. That's another card that we wouldn't normally see burnt, and so it's ideal to do so now.
So we may crush this evil and drive it back to the
Sorry for all the issues, y'all.
those who stand in the
Let me know if we run into any more, because that's a big deal. We may have to limit how much we play this game just due to that, frankly. Ooh, this is not great. Don't want that. Oh, and I don't even have a way to any things stored.
Name.
This is not a great start for this. This is Waits in Silence again, which we can fight. We've done this before. Waits in Silence is not one of the annoying bad ones. That. Burn things I don't expect to normally. We can go ahead and play this beyond the limit. Right wheel. Yo. There is a weird world if you can theoretically get your deck down to only a couple of cards. Then you could do hold your ground loops. And just like endlessly replay hold your ground over and over. It does sound kind of cool, doesn't it? I would. This deck is a little thick for that. Oh, that's 104 damage. That could be problematic. We have 31 block for it. It's fine, 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 it's fine. We can recover that. Ugh. We can recover all that. No, it's not. It's getting expelled. It's not dealing me any damage because it's going away. This is why, if this had to happen, which, let's be real, it didn't, but, like, it did, so we're dealing. It's kind of a deal that it happened to that turn, because it meant I could sit there and recover for a little bit. So all in all, we're doing pretty well here.
Back to the pits. I command you.
Okay. I don't like going into the boss fight with this much health, but we do what we can. No, none of these are half worth it. No, I had dealt it some light damage before, and it seemed to be very bad against that.
This is it. Malys is inside. I can feel it.
We're gonna have to play this next one more defensively, just because I expect this thing does stupid damage. Is that our dad? The man turned around to face me, a Catholic priest, his cassock faded and torn. His eyes were layered with fatigue and pain and torment all at once. He stared at me with a mixture of horror and disbelief, and I realized I knew him. I knew him. Young Wu? He asked, his voice cracking as if he hadn't spoken in a long time. It was my name, my original name from before I was ordained, a name I haven't used in many, many years. Everyone who ever knew that name who used it was dead, including this man. I stopped dead in my tracks. Dion? The priest took a single shaky step forward. As he came further into the light, I knew it was true. It was Dion. It was unmistakably him. You're dead, I whispered. I know you're dead. I saw the body. Dion's face cracked with a spasm of grief. Tears welled up and spilled down his cheeks as he reached out towards me with a trembling hand, and then let it drop. Yes, he nodded. It's true. I felt as if the floor was going to give way underneath me. Of all this people I'd expected to see here, Dion? I'd attended his funeral. I'd held his cold hand. This had to be a lie, some kind of demonic trick. But if that were so, why did it feel like truth? Suddenly, Dion stopped shaking. He stood up straight. His eyes darkened as a malicious grin spread slowly across his face. My, spoke a deep and rumbling voice from within Dion. I could feel great and fertile power like invisible bugs crawling around my skin. The shadows in the church around me deepened and closed, threatening to smother me. I hate you. Poor deluded Noah. All this time in the city and you haven't figured it out yet? Every teaching, every scrap of lore made the same warning. Don't engage with the demon. They deceive, they manipulate. Yet I found as I stared at the possessed figure of Dion before me, I couldn't help it. The entire world was spinning. What do you mean? I stammered. What do you mean? The demon mimicked in a high and pathetic voice. Then it laughed. Still, I stared at its baleful eyes, desperate for Dion to resurface. Such a determined exorcist. One demon after another, driven out, all to reach him. It gestured at itself at Dion, then laughed again. I tried and failed to gather my senses. It can't be true, I shouted. It can't! Of course it's not true. Dion's body strode towards me, his face twisted into hunger and delight. Your Dion is dead, and you've already failed. No, no! I stumbled away from him, covering my face. This all felt unreal. That's because it is unreal. The demon stopped, spreading his arms wide and drawing a great breath. You, Noah. You are the one who is possessed. I stopped, the shock hitting me. Malys, I breathed. The toothy grin was my answer. And I have already won. I wanted to say it was a lie. It had to be a lie, yet I tried to remember. How did I come to the city? What was I doing before? And I couldn't. It was all a blur, like a dream, a nightmare, and I was engulfed in it. It was true. I was the one possessed. Now I steeled myself. The only way out of possession was to fight. Alright, gang, time to see if our deck can really do the thing. This is gonna be bad. Just as a heads up, this is gonna get ugly real fast. We're gonna burn that to start hold your ground chaining. Then we're gonna burn powers that be. And we're gonna dump a good bit of this into ourself just to get the healing up. Sight the Passages was the card we were absolutely looking for here. After we wheel. Burn Holy Water, Resolve. Collect yourself. Hold your ground. Sight the Passages. Hold your ground. Violent Recollection. Burn the enemy within. Holy Water. Compel. Compel. Burn Arcane Shield. Play an Arcane Shield. Burn Arcane Shield again, and with full. Thank goodness I blocked. Did it just reduce my wrath? It just reduced my wrath by 1. Alright. Prep time. We've done what we needed. Now it's all about setting up for future turns. But if that's what we got, that's what we got. What does Malys look like? Oh, wow. Well, that's bad. 10 or more unblocked damage in a single attack, that's it? I was expecting far worse. Hold on. We can do that easily. Let's do that quickly so that we can see what we're dealing with. Okay. Alright, yeah, that's fine. Frankly, totally manageable. We take some of it, we can tank some of it without issue and still be good. Hold your ground. Collect yourself. Burn the holy water. Hold your ground. Burn 2. Sight the Passages. Burn Violent Wreck. What are we dealing with? A debuff? Fine. I can't do anything about it this turn, but that's fine. I'm gaining 1 energy next turn, so I'm going to go ahead and set up some defense since I have. I'm going to burn those for energy. Perfect. That's the one that turns off my candles, right? Yeah. Douse all my candles at end of turn, so no point saving them up. Got it. Now he's in trouble. Because now, with even the, read the verses, triggering it, I can do it without even batting an eye at what my combo is actually trying to do. Like it no longer matters what he wants. He's gonna have a ton of faith. He's gonna do a ton of horrible stuff to me. Or at least he's going to try. We're just digging right now. We're just digging. We want these adamantine resolves. We want the recite the passages. I don't think we can play recite the passages, but that's fine. It'll douse us, but we really don't care. I just want to make sure I'm still in the good practice of trying to keep cards up. Second health bar. We are in the... Okay, we're pacted with him. That's fine, because we're not going to be the ones taking damage. Burn. Hold. Hold again. Yeah, I suspect there's something else that's going to be going on there, but I have 64 health, 64 block, so it'd have to be something wild to really change the math there. That said, I am going to spare some defender just to make sure that nothing goes wrong here. He's going to take the same damage I take, but I don't know if that's any damage at all, because I have the defend. But you do have a good point. I probably should defend him anyway. It'll have to do. They have 92 health. If that's not enough, then they're in trouble anyway. Then we have different problems. What? I'm so confused by the chain of events here in some ways. Because I think we just have him. Is there something I'm missing to this fight?
It ends here. I won. But is it really over?
All right. That's the end of the run. Yeah. I felt like Malys itself wasn't nearly as threatening as some of the greater demons we fought before them. I kind of agree with you. There's definitely something off And it's intended to just be like, oh, that wasn't satisfactory, there must be something further. And there is something further, I guarantee it. Once you follow some of the talking paths and all that stuff. Yeah, I have. So okay, let's take a very broad approach. What did I think of this game? Because we are putting this game down from here. There's a bunch of other games I want to play, and while there absolutely is further that we could press on this, and if there's enough interest, I would love to do that at some later time. Given that every time I've tried to the last couple of different times I've tried to play this game, it's tried to crash my computer, unlike any other game has. We'll have to see about coming back to it. In the meantime, I actually did quite enjoy this game. It wasn't half done telling its story. But there's something very compelling to me personally about the story that it seems as we've had it so far. To the point that I don't know how to feel about the twist ending at the end of the run. I loved the demon designs. I loved the music design. I loved a lot of the ideas in the gameplay. But it's definitely got its rough edges. A released game probably shouldn't have as many outright like spelling errors as this game has, for example. And there's many cards that just don't do a whole lot unless you're already spec'd into something very specific. Like, let's take a look at the codex here for the cards, right? I never took this and had no interest in taking this. There were a number of spelling errors, and also just poor phrasing. I suspect this is not perhaps an English first language team. But, like, just to look through some of the cards, like, this game felt like it had a bit of an issue with cards that did do something unless you were already neck deep in a specific deck. This card, for example, not good unless you're already neck deep in a Wrath build. I could probably have taken Hosts of Shadows, and gotten a lot of damage off of it, but it wasn't what my deck needed, so, like, this is another card, like, all the cards, a bunch of the people that, it's cards that, like, require you to discard just a bunch of your cards, like, this is not great. I suppose, again, it could stack with the Wrath stuff. There's just so many cards that, like, yes, this is clearly supposed to go in a glow deck. But if you're not already neck deep in a glow deck, it's not going to work. This is a 4 energy card, which, as far as I can tell, I've only ever seen one thing that let you get a 4th energy. Like, yeah, if 3 or more candles are lit. For, like, well, so many cards that are just, like, a lot of the cards don't feel good to take. Illumination. Based on my gameplay, I would bet that Illumination's actually pretty good. But it just doesn't feel good. And that's the case with a lot of these. Like St. Benedict's Protection, got a ton of value out of it. Very good card. Doesn't feel good to look at. And the starting cards more than any deck card game that I've seen don't really give a good indication of what the power level you should be looking for in cards is. So while this was a very fun game. It didn't feel great. I'm curious if there is one of these curios that also increases your amount of energy you can have. Why can I not scroll down on the screen? I can't scroll down on the screen? I can't scroll down to actually see the curios. Nope. Oh, yeah, like, hold on. How many allies are there? I never saw half of these. The fact that so many of these are rare means you're never going to see most of them. Which means all the cards that care about allies, like all of these assist cards, are just not as good. And to be fair, I think this game is designed so that you don't see assist cards unless you already have an ally. But for example, there was the one that we saw all the time that was Strength in Numbers. Pretty bad unless you have allies in hand? What the heck? That's even worse than I thought it was. What is this upgraded? Okay. Still not great because you want them on the field. Why would you... Why would you want this card? Why would you... Oh, it's... Huh? What weird game. I also don't like that you have no way to see what upgrades are until you are at upgrade. Because it basically means that you can't plot for what you want to do next until you've already gotten a lot of experience with the game and know what things to do, which is not guaranteed.
You can say what you say, dancing the masquerade. Still the blood drips steady as rain.
So yeah, overall, quite like a lot of what this game is doing, but there's definitely some flaws to it. There's a number of things that Yeah, the music loop is not great. Sorry.
But I know that it's fake. You can run
Uh,
all you
I like the
like.
general concept of the game. I would love to revisit this in a couple of patches, maybe even. I would love to see. Yeah, it looks like this was just making sure everything worked the way it was supposed to. I would love to see see how this game works after it's been updated a bit. Because for right now, it's been a good time. I've enjoyed it, but it definitely needs some work. Like some more looks at the balance, some more look at what is what. What is the third artifact choice? Yeah. Okay, this would be another interesting way to try, thing to try. Book of Holy Flame, because this is like self-heal. What's the deck on this? Deal 3 light. And a Speak Thy Name? Okay, what the heck does the Dark Tarot do upgraded? Because right now I'm really not seeing it. It's an action. No, it's... These are all sorted alphabetically for some reason, by the way. I think there is more than I've seen of the story, for the one thing. I know you said there's no more. But I really do think that there is more in the game. Where the heck is this Dark Tarot card? Oh wait, is it the Dark Tarot? It is. What does this do upgraded? More damage and lower cost? Yeah, that's gotta be what it is for it to be worthwhile. Sorry, yeah. Just a ton of stuff that, like, the game is good, and the gameplay loop is good. A lot of what it's doing is good. I love the art style. I love the gameplay, the core gameplay loop. I would love more things to look and feel viable. And I would also love, there were a couple of instances, especially as we got further deeper in, where it really seemed like the demons did stuff with no rhyme or reason attached. And I would really like to see more. Like, it made clear more what is happening around those. Like, for example, the demon that I think hit us, like, if I really had to guess what happened, it was hitting us 8 times 8 times. And for whatever reason, the UI just did not display that it was times 8 times. That would line up with approximately 60 damage that Sniper was spotting. That would it would make so much sense if that was actually supposed to be 8 times 8 damage. But I would have loved some clarity on that. But I definitely see your thinking there. And like, I definitely see your thinking there. The demons were... that's a good idea, actually. The demons all looked good. The sound design was perfectly good. I liked a lot of the the way they handled permanent progression. I liked the way I liked the actual gameplay loop. If the gameplay loop wasn't good, I wouldn't have stuck with this for 3 weeks. 4 weeks? 3 or 4 weeks. I wouldn't have stuck with it for 3 or 4 weeks. Because the gameplay loop was great. The story was the actual story they were trying to tell was also, yeah, as Maury says, totally reasonable. I like a lot of the direction and the things that they are trying to do here. The gameplay loop feels good. The moment to moment actual like game, like when you're in there playing your cards, awesome. It felt incredible. But there's just some edges to polish, and that's fine and reasonable. They're like, I'm sitting here complaining about, oh, there's a bunch of stuff that just wasn't usable or wasn't useful. But most of the time, when I decided to take a gamble on, oh, this is something that could be good and could be helpful, it turned out to be good and helpful. I never once regretted taking an ally. I never once regretted taking an assist card. There was 1 or 2 I turned down, but all of those things, all of it felt good when it was working. I would just love a little bit more consistency and a little bit more feeling like the cards that you're playing are good. But enough about that. I will be back here on Wednesday night. We're going to be doing some Blueprints endgame stuff. So feel free to join us at 10 p.m. Then we're gonna do some more runs just to get mystery solved and get some of these end game pieces together. Then we're going to be doing more Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel on Sunday night, 8 p.m. That has been a lot of fun. I would love for you guys to come join me and talk with me then. I am not a Yu-Gi-Oh! Master by any stretch. But I've got decent enough experience with the game, and I've got a long history with the game. So if you have questions or would like to learn, I can totally help. Finally, next Monday, we're going to be trying Slay the Princess. If I understand that game correctly, that should be a one-stream game. And I have a list of games that I'm looking forward to trying after in our Discord. So if you wanted to throw your wants and dreams into the Discord, we'd love to have you then. That is also where, if anything changes, if I have disruptions to the streaming schedule, anything like that, that's going to be your first place to hear about that as well. In the meantime, Everybody have a good night, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!